Hello and welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to discuss the Samyang 12mm and the Zhiyun crane. All of my most popular videos have got both the Samyang 12mm and the Zhiyun crane in the title, but I've never actually made a video directly discussing them. So in this video we're going to do something about that. Okay, I'm going to quickly review the gimbal, I'll quickly review the lens, I'm going to discuss why this lens is really good to go with this gimbal, and then I'm going to answer some of the most asked questions on all of the videos. Okay, so the lens. The lens is one of the cheapest, widest E-mount lenses that you can get. It's an f2 and 12mm, which is fantastic for the price. The optics are really good. It is a manual lens, so you will have to get used to that. The contrast and the image quality and the colors that it produces are really good. They're really fun to play with and correct in editing. There is some distortion obviously at the edges because it's so wide, but I actually really like that look. This would be really good for night photography as well, but that's irrelevant for this. It's also quite light, it doesn't really weigh very much. Now the gimbal. This is the first gen, so you can get it really quite cheap now, but it still gives you really brilliant results, especially if you use it with a really light camera like the Sony a6300. I've had mine for over a year now with absolutely no issues. The battery life on it is fantastic. You get about 12 hours out of it. It can also take a real beating. Twice now I've taken this abroad with me in my bag on the plane, and I've accidentally left the batteries in it and it's turned on while it's been in my bag. So it's been on and the motor's going for a good 4-hour flight. When I take it out, the motors have been really hot, but they haven't burnt out and it's still going. Okay, so why do they work so well together? The weight of the lens means that it's not so difficult to balance it the very first time. It's not too front heavy, so it's easier for beginners. I actually use a quick release plate, so what you do is you balance it perfect the first time. You spend a lot of time balancing it, and then you only have to balance it the once. You then just click the camera on and off and it's perfect every time. Because the lens is so wide, you get less of those jitters, you get less micro jitters in the corners. And also because it's so fast at f2, it's really good for low light. Okay, some of the questions from my videos. Is this a manual lens? Yes. Does it have autofocus? No. How do you keep focus? What you do is set your focus and then stay at the same distance away from the subject the whole time, or set the lens to infinity, stop down the aperture a few, say f4, f6, and then everything should be in focus, and then just keep it there. I actually did a whole vlog using this lens. Now, all I did was set it to 0.5, so that's half a meter. I set it to f2, and then just held it at arm's length. And then I was in focus, the background was blurry, it was perfect for the whole vlog. Should I get this or the 18-105? I would say if you're on a budget, this. If you want a more versatile lens, the 18-105. It does a lot more and it's stabilized as well. They are both brilliant lenses though, but this one is wider and faster. Do I stabilize in post? Yes, I do. Is this lens better than the 10-18? Again, I would say based on budget, the 10-18 is a better lens. It's wider and it also has image stabilization, but if you haven't got the budget for it, then I would go for the Samyang. Is this an APS-C or a full frame? It's an APS-C. Do I recommend the Zhiyun crane? Absolutely yes, but do you need it? No. And that's it for this one. If you have any other questions about either of them, drop it down in the comments and I'll answer it to the best I can. And thank you very much for watching.